शुद्ध भक्ता चरण रेणु भजनानुकूला शुद्ध भक्ता चरण रेणु भजनानुकूला भक्त सेवा परम सिद्धि प्रेमलति करमूला भक्त सेवा परम सिद्धि प्रेमलति करमूला माधवतीति भक्ति जननी जतने पालन कोरी माधवतीति भक्ति जननी जतने पालन कोरी कृष्ण बसती बसती बोली परम आदर बोरी कृष्ण बसती बसती बोली परम आदर बोरी बसती बोली गौरा महाराज सबस्ताने करल ब्रह्मण रांगे गौरा महाराज सबस्ताने करल ब्रह्मण रांगे जैसा बस्ताना हेरि बोमी प्रणय भक्त संगे जैसा बस्ताना हेरि बोमी प्रणय भक्त संगे मृदंग भाद्या सुनित्य मान अवसर सादा जाचे मृदंग भाद्या सुनित्य मान अवसर सादा जाचे गौरा विहिता कीर्तन सुनी आनंद हृदय नाचे गौरा विहिता कीर्तन सुनी आनंद हृदय नाचे युगल मूर्ति देखिया मोरा परम आनंद होया। युगल मूर्ति देखिया मोरा परम आनंद होया। प्रसाद सेवा कोरिते होया सकल प्रपंच जाया। प्रसाद सेवा कोरिते होया सकल प्रपंच जाया। ये दिन गृहे भजन देखी गृहते गोलोक भाया। जे दिन गृहे भजन देखी गृहते गोलोक भाया। चरण सिद्धू देखिया गंगा सुकन सीमा पाया। चरण सिद्धू देखिया गंगा सुकन सीमा पाया। तुलसी देखी जुरय प्राण माधव तो सनि जानी। तुलसी देखी जुरय प्राण माधव तो सनि जानी। गौर प्रिया सख सेवने जीवन सार्थक मानी। गौर प्रिया सख सेवने जीवन सार्थक मानी। भक्ति विनोद कृष्ण भजने अनुकूल पाया जाह। भक्ति विनोद कृष्ण भजने अनुकूल पाया जाह। प्रति दिवसे परम सुखे स्वीकार को रोहिता। प्रति दिवसे परम सुखे स्वीकार को रोहिता। शुद्ध भक्ता चरण रेणु भजन अनुकूला। शुद्ध भक्ता चरण रेणु भजन अनुकूला। Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is from Sharanagati by Bhaktivinoda Thakur Maharaj. So we'll read translation. Dust from the lotus feet of pure devotee is conducive to the devotional service, while serving to the Vaishnava is itself the supreme perfection and the root of the tender keep of devotional service, divine love. I observe with great care and holy days like Ekadashi and Janmashtami, for they are the mother of devotion, as they dwell place in choosing the greatest pleasure of reverence and love and transcendent abode of Lord Krishna. All those places where Lord Gaurachandra travelled for pastimes, I will visit in the company of loving devotees. My mind always begged for the opportunity to hear the music of Mridanga. Upon hearing the kind of kirtana ordained by Lord Gaurachandra, my heart dances in ecstasy. By beholding the deity form of the divine couple, Sri Sri Radha Krishna, I feel the greatest joy. By honoring the Lord's Prasad, I conquer over all worldly illusions. Golok Vrindana appear in my home, where I see the worship and service of Lord Hari going on there. Upon seeing the Ganges, which is a river of nectar emanating from the lotus feet of the Lord, my happiness knows no bound. The sight of the holy Tulsi tree soothes my soul, for I know she gives pleasure to the Lord Krishna. By honoring Shag, a greeny leafy vegetable preparation, a dear favorite of Lord Chaitanya, I consider life worthwhile. Whatever Bhaktivinoda obtains that is conducive for the service to Sri Krishna, he accepts every day with the greatest of joy. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana Jashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana जमुनातीरावनचारी जमुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन जमुना तीरावनचारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा मदन मोहन राधा मदन मोहन राधे जय राधा मदन मोहन राधा मदन मोहन राधे जय जगन्नाथ जगन्नाथ बलदेवा जय सुभद्रमयी जय गौरानिताय 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 जय गौरानिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमती डिवाइन ग्रेस ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमती डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से को श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की नवदीप धाम की जय मायापुर धाम की जय वृंदावन धाम की जय पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबलिटीज ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबलिटीज ऑल ग्लोरीज टू असेंबलिटीज ऑल ग्लोरीज टू श्री गुरु एंड गौरंगा ऑल ग्लोरीज टू श्रील प्रभुपाद श्री श्री राधा मदन मोहन की जय जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रमय की जय गौरनिताय की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जायामुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नस्तिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपाकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः. Hare Krishna. Today being Ekadasi, we are reading from Srila Prabhupada Lilamritam, volume 3. Only he could lead. So before reading that, we will recite prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitamena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Gurum Sri Utapadakamlam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamani Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarini Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Nama He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namusute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So before speaking on this Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita, person Bhagavata, I would seek blessings of all the devotees, especially from His Grace Anandamaya Prabhu, so that I can glorify Srila Prabhupada on this auspicious Ekadasi day. This is from volume 3, Only He Could Lead. This is in 1967. Srila Prabhupada, accompanied by his two disciples, again visited Swami Bon. Riding to Swami Bon's institute by rickshaw, Prabhupada told Achyutananda that Swami Bon had started the institute as an academy of Vaishnava studies, but had affiliated with Agra University because the institute had not been bringing any money. Now Swami Bon had money, but the institute had become an ordinary school devoid of spiritual values. As Srila Prabhupada and his disciples sat in Swami Bon's parlor, Bon Maharaj made it clear that although he would not donate land for the Prabhupada's American house, Prabhupada's student could come and study at his institute. Achyutananda, he suggested, could be the first one. Here, Srila Prabhupada, this is after revisiting to India. Srila Prabhupada incorporated ISKCON in 1966. After 1 year, he visited 65. And later he visited to India in 67. And this is the continuation of that part. Here, before that, like last Ekadashi, we read that Achyutananda visited from first time he visited, and before that Kirtananda Maharaj got initiation on Janmashtami day, August 28, in Radha Damodar temple. So later on they visited Bon Maharaj for seeking help, but Bon Maharaj was very clear that he don't want to donate land, because he was Prabhupada that time, our Radha Krishna Balaram temple was not there. So they were expecting that maybe Srila Prabhupada will ask for donation. But here Bon Maharaj is clear. He is himself clearly informing Prabhupada that we are not in a position to donate land for American house. But he is taking advantage of the foreign students. Bon Maharaj is taking the advantage of Bon Maharaj. The students of, because nowadays also for them scholarship is free, so that everyone thinks, oh, foreign students are there, maybe this is good institute, so we can also join. But here if you see this institute, because it was affiliated with Agra University, they lost the spiritual values. So based on the university's condition, they has to follow affiliation. So spiritual academics gone. Only mundane philosophy they were telling. So Swami Bon then took to the main building to visit a class in session. Instead of seeing Panditas and Brahmacharis studying Sanskrit as they had expected, Prabhupada's disciples saw boys with the mustaches and giggling girls. Prabhupada lectured and then asked Kirtananda to play the Hare Krishna record. After a few minutes, Bon Maharaj told Kirtananda to stop the record. But Kirtananda, seeing Swamiji enjoying the record, let it play. Achyutananda, we walked around the place and I thought this is just a mundane school. I don't want to go here. If I could learn Sanskrit and live at the Radha Damodar temple, then I could have a nice time in India. They continued their tour of the facilities, and after seeing the dormitory, Prabhupada doubted whether his American disciples could endure the austerity and the academic studies. It seemed that one of the two boys was always sick. First, Kirtananda Swami had gotten dysentery, then something had been wrong with Achyutananda's stomach. Then they had both been exhausted from the heat. On the whole, Srila Prabhupada wrote to Rupanuga in New York, the American boys who come here become first depressed. So, I do not know how far American houses in Vrindavan will be successful. His boys were not practically studious or austere. Besides, both Kirtananda Swami and Achyutananda had developed a definite dislike for the rector of the Institute of Oriental Philosophy, and Srila Prabhupada obviously had reservation about the place. You can go and study there, Prabhupada told them, but don't live there. Live at the Radha Damodar temple and go. You can get a bicycle and go there. Gradually, the idea of immediate acquiring an American house in Vrindavan began to dwindle. Prabhupada needed his own place for his disciples, and that would take time. With regular medications, massage, rest, and the heat of Vrindavan, Prabhupada felt himself recovering. But mid-September had declared himself 90% fit to return to the United States. He predicted that he would be back there by the end of October. B.R. Sridhar Maharaj, Prabhupada's godbrother, whose ashram was in Navadipa, West Bengal, wrote to invite Prabhupada to spend the month of Kartika with him at the ashrama and join him for his Vyas Puja celebration. Srila Prabhupada liked the idea of going to the holy land of Navadip, where Lord Chaitanya had spent his early years, and seeing his godbrothers, he also wanted to visit Delhi again and inquire about the printing his books. Swamiji, Achyutananda asked, when you go to Navadip, am I supposed to stay here in Vrindavan and study? Don't you want to see the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya? Prabhupada asked. Achyutananda did. And Prabhupada, Kirtananda Swami and Achyutananda left Vrindavan together and returned to the Chippewada temple in Delhi. For Prabhupada's two disciples, life at the Chippewada temple was hard. Delhi was blazing hot and lacked the charm of Vrindavan. There was water for only 2 hours a day, early in the morning, and that only a slow trickle. They would fill 2 clay jugs for Prabhupada's room and several buckets for his bath and their own. And then there would be no more water for the rest of the day. A mongoose ran freely through the building. Do they eat snakes? Achyutananda asked. They eat snakes, said Srila Prabhupada. They eat garbage. They eat anything. Prabhupada, who regarded the heat, the lack of water, and even the mongoose as normal, was undisturbed. Several young Indian musicians in the adjacent room regularly played cinema music on their electric organ, bongos, drum, and electric guitars. Rehearsing for the dance, Prabhupada tolerated it. Sri Krishna Pandit praised Prabhupada's work in America and his English translation of Srimad Bhagavatam. As manager of the Chippewada Radha Krishna temple and secretary of an active Hinduism society, Sri Krishna Pandit was interested in spreading Hinduism. Hindu Dharma. And therefore, he wanted Prabhupada to speak at the near Gauri Shankar temple, one of Delhi's most popular Hindu temple. Prabhupada agreed to go and take with him Achyutananda. Kirtananda Swami had already left for the west on August 22. So Srila Prabhupada was tolerant. Dhira, Bhagavad Gita says, Sita Ushna Sukha Dukkada. So Prabhupada is ready to tolerate and he is showing to his disciples how to tolerate. Water was not there, only few hours, and mungus was roaming in the building, and music instruments people were playing. That also cinema still tolerated. Srila Prabhupada tolerated so many things for higher purpose, and he want to teach to the disciples. So, and Srila Prabhupada immediately took the opportunity for preaching opportunity. So in Delhi, say Krishna Pandit invited to lecture. So Srila Prabhupada immediately accepted that. The Gauri Krishna temple was on Chippi Wada, Chandi Chowk. After a short walk through some of the busiest, most congested streets of old Delhi, Prabhupada and Achyutananda removed their shoes at the door and entered the temple. The main deity was Lord Shiva, but there was many others: Rama, Durga, Kali, Radha Krishna, Hanuman. The crowds stood before the elaborated altars, weaving and petitioning the various deities. Achyutananda had learned about demigods worship from Prabhupada at 26 Second Avenue. According to Bhagavad Gita, demigods fulfill only material desires and are therefore worshipped by the less intelligent. A Vaishnava, Prabhupada had said, respects the demigods. In fact, he respects all living beings, even the ants. But he worships only the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna or Vishnu. Achyutananda had already seen firsthand that impersonalists were misleading Indians to disavow the personal form of God and accept all methods of worship as equal. Most Indians had no clear understanding of Bhagavad Gita or Krishna. Achyutananda kept this in mind as Prabhupada led him in bowing down before a few of demigod altars. Then Prabhupada brought him before the deity of Krishna, Radha Krishna. Just see, Prabhupada said, Krishna is just playing his flute. As for the demigods, someone is holding bows and arrows, someone is holding clubs, someone is holding weapons. But Radha and Krishna are just dancing, and Krishna is holding a flute. So he is Supreme Lord. In one large room of heavy man with a great white beard and wearing flower garland sat on several pillows. Many people stood staring at him. He reminded Achyutananda of Santa Claus. Swamiji, who is that? Achyutananda asked. Some yogi, Prabhupada replied indefinitely. The main lecture hall had a large painting of Lord Shiva on the wall and was crowded with people. Women in colored saris and many of the men in bright turbans. Amid such a welter of rituals of worship, Achyutananda felt protected by Swamiji. They sat on a dais and Sri Krishna Pandit introduced his friend Bhaktivedanta Swami to a crowd. Srila Prabhupada spoke in Hindi for about an hour. Walking back to Chippivada, Achyutananda wondered why Swamiji had gone to speak at a place with such hodgepodge worship. But without his asking, it occurred to him that Swamiji was willing to speak about Krishna anywhere to anyone. Had not he came to New York City, and what could be the more hodgepodge place than New York Lower East Side? So he is contemplating his situation. Delhi is more better than Lower East. Sitting on the veranda outside his room, Prabhupada could see the huge domes of the Jamma Mosque in the early evening sky. One evening, as Prabhupada sat softly chanting japa, and as Achyutananda would have not yet memorized the Gayatri Mantra, sat nearby reading it to himself. A Hindu gentleman came and conversed with Prabhupada. Achyutananda soon finished the Gayatri Mantra and sat listening to his spiritual master talk in Hindi to the unknown gentleman. Achyutananda could catch up only a word here or there, some mentioning of Ayurvedic medicine, address, Indian names, cities. They talk for hours. And Achyutananda wondered who this man was, who could speak so long with Swamiji. When the man left, Achyutananda asked Swamiji, was he your god brother? Prabhupada said, no. Is he a Swami? Prabhupada said, no. He is one of your relative? No. Well, who is he? He may friendship. He is my friend. Prabhupada answered empathetically. Sometimes Prabhupada's visitors could bring donations of clothes or fruits or even complete cooked meals in metal tiffins. One visitor, a middle-aged woman who had heard Prabhupada speak at the Gauri Shankar temple, came to Prabhupada's office in Chippivada requesting initiation. Prabhupada spoke with her, agreed and had accepted. Achyutananda prepared a small fire sacrifice. At her initiation, he gave her the name Mukunda Dasi. She came daily to clean Prabhupada's room, and when she saw that his old peg wooden sandals were broken, she brought him new ones. Chandrasekhar had known Prabhupada for several years and was supposed to have been his secretary. But he was a drunkard. Prabhupada suspected him of having stolen from his mailbox more than 2,000 rupees during the past 2 years. Prabhupada's Chippivada address was listed in his magazine and books, and people had been sending money for books and back to Godhead subscriptions. Even in the past 2 months, Prabhupada's disciple had written that they were enclosing money in their letters, but Prabhupada never found any. One day, he caught sight of Chandrasekhara in a building and asked him, "Where is my mailbox keys?" "I believe you have it," Chandrasekhara replied. "Or maybe Sri Krishna Pandit has it." Chandrasekhara was drunk. "Swamiji," Achyutananda said angrily, we should make a police case." Prabhupada shook his hand, "No." "Well," Achyutananda said, "if he is not punished by the law, then in his next birth, Krishna will punish him." "That's true," Prabhupada agreed. Chandrasekhara looked fearfully from Prabhupada to his American disciples. "Then there is only one thing to do," Achyutananda said. "Shall I call a police?" "No," said Prabhupada. "I forgive him." Yet, only a few days later, Prabhupada record player disappeared, and Prabhupada suspected the drunkard Chandrasekhara. Prabhupada brought Achyutananda with him to his bank, the Bank of Baroda, to exchange some American currency. As they were about to enter the door, the guard refused them entry, thinking they were sadhus come to beg. Prabhupada was angry. He spoke loudly in Hindi to the guard, an old man with a short gun, a big strap of bullets, and a shabby semi-official uniform. "I have an account here," Prabhupada protested. Finally, the guard allowed him to enter. Prabhupada went straight to the manager and complained. "Do you think," Prabhupada said, "because I am a sadhu, I am to be regarded as a beggar?" Prabhupada told the man to his organization in America. Prabhupada told the man of his organization in America and his account in the Bank of Baroda. The manager apologized and reprimanded the guard. One day, Prabhupada sent Achyutananda to a certain restaurant. "If you want to see varieties of Indian food," Prabhupada said, "tell the man you want 10 rupees of sweets and 10 rupees of salty preparation. That is called misti and nimika. And just see the varieties." Achyutananda was sick and could not imagine eating a lot of sweets, but he stopped by the restaurant and looked. When he returned to the temple at Chippivada, he told Prabhupada that he had seen the food. Although he could not eat it, "Yes, but just see the varieties," Prabhupada concluded, and he explained how Krishna consciousness was personal and full of varieties and not dry. By seeing Prasad also, Prabhupada is explaining the truth tattva. Because one person is there, that's why he will enjoy varieties. Another American disciple joined Prabhupada, Ramanuja, from Haight-Ashbury. He had been initiated just before Swamiji had left San Francisco, and he spotted a full black beard. Prabhupada did not like the beard. Cautionally and indirectly he mentioned it, but Ramanuja's beard stayed. Ramanuja carried a book about Tibetan Buddhism, and he did not seem fixed in Krishna consciousness philosophy. But here he was, one of the loser, sentimental San Francisco devotee, ready for Indian adventure with Swamiji. Srila Prabhupada visited the wealthy Delhi industrialist Mr. Seth Dalmia to discuss plans for printing some of his books in India. Mr. Dalmia received him well, but gave only vague promises of help. Prabhupada also met with Hitsharan Sharma, Mr. Dalmia's secretary, who worked closely with Hanuman Prasad Podar of popular religious publishing company Gita Press. Srila Prabhupada was already acquainted with all these gentlemen, since they had all donated towards his first volume of Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhupada wanted Gita Press to publish his Gita Upanishad and Srimad Bhagavatam. Hitsharan Sharma showed him an illustrated Gita in Hindi poetry that he had recently published. But my Gita, my Bhagavatam, said Prabhupada, appears disgusted. Is the description of God. It is the description of Krishna. Mr. Sharma said he could not see how Gita Press could print Prabhupada's voluminous writings. Nevertheless, Prabhupada still considered private printing Gita Upanishad with Mr. Sharma as his agent. On October 11, Prabhupada wrote to Brahmananda, "We must have our books printed. We have wasted much time in the matter of editing and finding out a suitable publisher. When I was alone, there was 3 voluminous published, but during the last years, I could not publish a single volume more. It is a great defeat. If I have 1 or 2 sincere souls like you, and if we can make more publishing, then our mission will be great success. I am prepared to sit down underneath a tree with 1 sincere soul, and in such activity I shall be freed of all distress." So after continuing, because Prabhupada, after starting this movement, he was not able to publish a single book. So he is thinking some defeat because not published any, and he is looking for a sincere soul like Brahmananda. And here also we have one, in Hyderabad also, we have great soul who took that as a challenge to print Srila Prabhupada's books translated in Telugu. Anandmay Prabhu. So Prabhupada was looking for a sincere soul who can print books on behalf of him. And Prabhupada is ready to sit underneath a tree, even though he had so big places. Devotees from America were regularly writing Swamiji, anxious to see him again in good health. But he did not want to leave India. He explained, until the personally saw that the printing of his Gita Upanishad was underway. Printing Gita Upanishad and obtaining approval for permanent residence in the US were the 2 short-term goals he wished to achieve before returning. But he thought often of his return to America. As you are all feeling my separation, similarly, I am also anxious to return as soon as possible. I think I am fit to go back to your country at present, and as scheduled previously, I am sure by the end of October I must be fit to return. But before this, there is many things to be done. I am not yet as assured of the permanent visa. The best thing will be that from each center an invitation should be sent that my presence is urgently required. Presently, I am very much anxious to bring printing here in Macmillan Company. Does not make up a work. Please, therefore, let me know yes or no from Macmillan. If he is not serious, then immediately send the manuscript finished or not to be following address. Pandit Hitsharan Sharma, care of Dalmia Enterprises, Sich India House, New Delhi. After dispatching, let them know that I should do the needful. Indian friends who visited Prabhupada's room listened eagerly as he told them about America. The millions of cars and the superhighways of thousands of young people rejecting their father's wealth, but Prabhupada's visitors were not fully able to understand his visit to America. Not that they were too simple to understand, and not just they had never traveled into the West. Prabhupada's experience in America consisting of intimate spiritual relation with his disciples. How could an outsider understand the dynamics of his temples and his disciples in the West? How could anyone except Prabhupada and his disciples understand these things? My mind is always with you. Practically, your country is my home now. India is a foreign country for me. The reason is that my spiritual family is there and my material relationships are in India. Therefore, actually, where my spiritual family exists, there is my home, Srila Prabhupada is telling. Srila Prabhupada's vision of the worldwide society of devotees preaching in temple and publishing books, a vision he had even before he had gone to America, was now becoming manifest. But it was dependent on him. In his absence, his disciples were sustained only by carrying out his orders and receiving his letters. When Dayananda and Nandarani had gone from the San Francisco temple to start a temple in Los Angeles, it had been Swamiji's instruction that had sustained and guided them. Whenever there is new branch of our society for Krishna consciousness, I become very happy. And my blessing in the heart and soul are with you. On receipt of Swamiji's letter, they knew they had done the right thing. No matter that husband and wife sometimes quarrel and there was not enough money, the main thing was Swamiji was pleased. From Boston, Satsurupa wrote that he had the other devotees there were moving for the apartment to a rented storefront near Boston University. The first time Satsurupa entered the new storefront, he found on the floor an aerogram from Swamiji, dated October 6 from Delhi. So only one page is there, we will continue. I can understand that you have secured a very nice place in Boston and there is a very good possibility of pushing our movement among the student community there. Our movement is certainly very much appealing to the youngest section of our country, and if we are successful in the matter of attracting the student community in your country, certainly this movement will scatter all over the world and fulfill the foretelling of Lord Chaitanya that in every village and every town of the world, the Lord will be famous for his glorious Sankirtan movement. Please try for this with your heart and soul and your life will be successful mission. The letter was as good as Swamiji coming personally to open the storefront and begin the preaching. It gave Satsurupa full directions and inspiration, and it was personal. In that same letter Prabhupada had written, I am always aspiring after returning to your care and overload with your typewriting task. I hope we shall very soon meet again and help each other in the matter of discharging Krishna consciousness engagements. I am now 90% all right, and I think I can return safely. This typewriting work is done by me. For 2 days, I am alone and doing everything myself and experiment. This proves that I am now well. Please offer my blessings to all the boys and girls there. In New Mexico, Subala was trying to arrange public speaking engagement for Prabhupada's return, and Prabhupada was encouraging him. If you think I can be on television by the first week in December, then you can arrange for it because I must be in your country by the middle of the November. Srila Prabhupada wrote to Janardana in Montreal, answering his philosophical doubts and encouraging him to be patient with the philosophical reluctant wife. And to Rama, who was editing Back to Godhead magazine in New York, he gave another kind of thoughtful assurance. I am very happy that since BTG is entrusted to you, the things are improving. This means that Krishna is giving you more and more facilities. Krishna is such a nice boss that he gives more facilities and improvements to the sincere servant. On October 9, the day of Prabhupada started for Calcutta, he left behind a different kind of letter for Sri Krishna Pandit. Prabhupada had been negotiating with Sri Krishna Pandit to purchase the Chippiwada temple for Krishna, or at least to rent the single room through a formal contract. Prabhupada wanted the room as a Delhi headquarters for printing his books. On the day of his departure, however, Sri Krishna Pandit was unable and Prabhupada left him a short handwritten note. If you are not settling anything with the room, then I may not come back to Delhi anymore. I will go to USA directly from Kolkata via the Pacific route, for which Sri Dalmia Seth had already promised for the ticket. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada Lilamritam ki jai. Satsvarup Goswami Maharaj ki jai. This is simple. Srila Prabhupada wrote, Srila Prabhupada activities are very simple to understand by anyone. And Satsvarup Maharaj made it very clear, transparent. So any can understand. I think no need discussion. Thank you.